Ayy, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
What's good, Washington Commander fans? Man, let me tell you, Josh Harris is becoming the man of the hour. Him knowing that he is days, weeks away from becoming a owner of the Washington Commanders, guess what he else did? Team up to become a majority owner of Joe Gibbs Racing with the legendary coach Joe Gibbs. Now, I didn't see this coming at all, but guess what? I like it. I like it very much because you know why? Because Joe Gibbs and Josh Harris are, Joe Gibbs is a guy that we know won 3 Super Bowls with us with 3 different quarterbacks, first black quarterback. But Joe Gibbs has been in racing for a long time. Now we know he lost a son also, but nonetheless, that the ownership between these two is going to help galvanize racing. Now we already know what Josh Harris stands for with his other sports and everything like that, but to legitimate his stance in racing, I mean, how can you? Because you got what? I think you got Magic Johnson. You got Michael Jordan. I think Tom Brady's a part of racing. So there's a lot of sports figureheads that's are growing into the sport of racing. Now a lot of people don't watch racing. I catch it from time to time, but you can't be mad at this. I mean, me personally, I'm gonna applaud Josh Harris because he's putting his stamp on everything. I mean, this dude is about his money. That's about it. This dude is about his money. Now, David Aldridge of The Athletic, he said that the connection between Joe Gibbs and Josh Harris, the businessman who is poised to buy Gibbs' former team, the Washington Commanders, is getting closer. The ownership leg by Josh Harris and David Blitzer of the Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment is making a substantial financial investment in Gibbs NASCAR racing. According to the source brief of the matter, who were not authorized to speak publicly about the pending transaction, the group will be buying a majority stake in Joe Gibbs Racing, which has 5 NASCAR Cup Series champions, 6 NASCAR Infinity Owner Championship Series, and has won more than 40 races over NASCAR Top 3 racing since Joe Gibbs founded the company in 1992. That's pretty doggone impressive. I ain't knew Joe Gibbs Racing was that good. Like I said, I don't catch that many NASCAR. I do watch it from time to time, here and there, but I mean, I guess sometimes you get to pay more and more attention when stuff like this come out. Now we know Joe Gibbs was elected to the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2020. Wow, that's another impressive one too. So with the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group, they will have no role in the day-to-day operations of Joe Gibbs Racing, which is headed by Joe Gibbs and his company, David Alper. Gibbs' desire to keep the company as a family-run business will continue unabated. And that's good because he wants to leave that legacy for his grandkids, children, whatever the case may be. So that's a good thing because then you want to have a majority owner with the backing of a Josh Harris, but you don't want them to be so much hands-on day-to-day of the operation when you still there running things and everything like that. And then you can point somebody that's in your family. Now, if Joe Gibbs was to pass and the company goes to whoever and they feel like financially they can't run the operation, then they might change up some stuff in future years. But right now, I think it's a good thing where Joe Gibbs continue to put his imprint on there and let Josh Harris be a majority owner, and then help oversee some other things that could help the Joe Gibbs Racing become more of a major player than ever before in the sport of racing. So that's going to be, you got to think about it. Josh Harris is going to be in football, baseball, he's in hockey, now racing. And yeah, because he's in baseball, I think he's with the Dodgers. I think him and Magic Johnson's with the Dodgers. He was with Philly, New Jersey Devil. He's in, most likely in the top sports. He's in the top sports. Now, if Josh Harris was to come out and get into soccer, man, all I can say, hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, you can't be mad at it, because the dude is about money. He's about his money, and if he could be a player in just about any sports group and make a significant impact and bring winning there, who's to say no? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say no? Because you got to think, eventually the Washington Commanders will be turned around to a winning franchise. I won't say historical until they start winning championships and Super Bowls. Then I'll say historical. But a winning franchise again, yes. Like the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they're close to winning a title. That would be something. The New Jersey Devils already have won NHL title. Then you got the Dodgers don't want a World Series. So, hey, then teaming up with NASCAR, it's going to be something special to see. Now, Harris and Gibbs have grown closer in the last couple of years, with Gibbs providing counsel to Harris as he began to pursue of buying the Washington Commanders. That's very, very, very important right there, because who has a better understanding of the organization and what tradition is about with the Washington franchise is Joe Gibbs, because he's been there. He was the last winningest coach there. The last winning coach in that franchise history before Daniel Snyder took over and destroyed it. So it makes a whole lot of sense. Snyder announced a tentative agreement to Harris in May to sell the Commanders for $6 billion. Gibbs sent out a statement in support of the upcoming owner. And I'm going to read the statement by Ben Stein. We sure read it, but it says, I have had the opportunity to get to know Harris and his leadership team during this process, and full support his efforts and lead the new ownership group for the Commanders. The NFL has grown a great deal since my time as a coach in the league, but what hasn't changed is my belief that with great leadership come from the top, the drive to win on the field and commitment to culture, championships teams are created. Josh and his team share these values, and I'm committed to doing what I can to reconnect this great franchise to the community, fan base, and alumni. All right, as I just read that statement, I will not rule out that Joe Gibbs will come back and be some intricate part of the Washington Commanders once the sale go through. I could see Joe Gibbs now. He could be some kind of advisor. He could be, I don't know. He could be some of anything. I don't think management probably won't be, but I think he'll be some kind of advisor, overseer. He could be, who knows? He might be another majority owner there. Who knows? But I do believe that Josh Harris will reward Joe Gibbs a part of that franchise once he take ownership. You gotta think, Joe Gibbs been an intricate part of Ron Rivera also, when Ron Rivera started seeking quarterbacks, he seeked out advice how Joe Gibbs won with 3 different quarterbacks. And now the Landon Carson Wentz wasn't ideally, you know what I'm saying? So, but nevertheless, that I do believe that Josh Harris is the right fit. I always thought Josh Harris was the guy for this job. I was not sold on other owners, especially Jeff Bezos. I didn't think that when you in business with certain people and you build relationships, you want to trust in relationships. Now, I think Daniel Snyder, when he took over, he had relationships with other owners, but he got too big for his britches, and then he started thinking he was above everybody, and he started doing outlandish things, and they kind of put the franchise in a uphill battle of losing from year in and year out and not having great success. When you see teams around us kind of like having a lot of great success, you know, so it's time for the Washington Commanders, this Washington franchise, to get back up. But hats off to Josh Harris and Joe Gibbs for this partnership, and glad that their friendship could bring them together. And Joe Gibbs trusts Josh Harris enough to do right by the Washington Commanders and allow him to be a minority owner in his Joe Gibbs Racing franchise. So hey, hats off to them. Josh Harris doing big things, man. This probably won't be the last time you hear Josh Harris names partnered up with somebody. I'm telling you, watch out. Soccer's next. Soccer's next. Watch what I tell you. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video to you. Until then, guys, hail to the Commanders. Training camps are only weeks away. Let's get it.